The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau, here's Hunter Vaughn.
Only 1 week remains in the high school football season. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the man, the myth, the legend, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. Zimbrick Honda's been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether you're looking for a sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none. Browse their car selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda. So, Dennis, 1 week left in the season. We've got games coming up here on ESPN Madison on Thursday as well as Friday. We've got some conference titles on the line. There's state berths that are on the line as well for these teams. This is one of the biggest weekends of the season, and it really starts the next month of the football season of being crucial games for a large majority of the state. What have you thought so far of this high school season? It's been a really great season. We've got the 1 week left of the regular season. Any big surprises from you as we head into this last week?
Well, let me see. Monroe, first of all, with one win this year after what they had. And the coaches picked them to win the conference. Oh, because they've been doing it. That goes to show you that it's what have you done for me lately, huh? Poor cheesemakers. And they lost their head coach a year ago, passed away, Toby, and they're kind of struggling a little bit there. As surprises, Milton is really taken off under Coach Dan Prohl we had in last week. Now they got a big game with Wanakee this week. Wanakee's senior night. I'm sure Coach Graverson, again, more distractions, right? But again, thinking about senior night, there's thousands of players around the state. This is their last high school football game. There's 129 teams that aren't going to be going to the playoffs, and all those guys are done. And then there's other seniors that are kind of borderline, but it could be their last home game.
Well, and it could be their last football game, just period.
Right. That was the point. That remember that line, Rudy, where they get to go at that last practice and go out and get to hit the tackling dummy with the coach. He goes, I can't believe it's over. And that's what it's going to be for a lot of guys. So think about all the guys that started back. Back in the spring, spring sports, weightlifting starting in June, summer conditioning, the two-a-days, not as much as it used to be.
Yep.
The two-a-days used to mean like 8 hours out there on the football field, but all the work that these young men have put in, and the coaches. Can't forget the coaches either. They give up a lot of their time for very little money, for the love of the game and the love of coaching kids. So it's a Week 9 is always a very bittersweet night, and you hope that the weather cooperates, that it's not freezing or sleet or
so
whatever.
far it has.
But we've been lucky.
Yeah.
So.
This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. We're going to look back at this past week that was from area teams. We'll start with the Badger Small Conference. On Friday night, Sauk Prairie, a team that you and I, Dennis, are going to see this upcoming Friday. They went to Stoughton and shut out the Vikings 24-0. Sauk's rolling. They're looking like potentially get a home game here in level 1 of the playoffs. They're a team that are going to have a chance to maybe make a three-way tie for the Badger Small title. This
has been the revenge tour this year. Everybody they lost to 2 years ago, they knocked them out of the playoffs. Last year that they lost to during the season. Stone is the team they beat a year ago, 34-0. This time was 24-0. They did it without their starting quarterback, Caden Hermsdorf. He got popped in the knee when they beat Portage the week before, so precautionary. They sat him out. Jude Thompson, a sophomore, got his first start. A little rough. He threw 3 interceptions, but Wade Gibbs had a great run, a 73-yard run for a touchdown. Riley Jadak, another guy who lost. He's still listed on the roster as a quarterback,
Yep.
you pointed out. He lost the quarterback battle to Caden Hermsdorf now. He's a returning all-conference defensive end. Some guys might pout. They wanted that job. No, what did he do? He just went back to work and busted his butt on defense. They needed a running back. They put him in there. Now he's their power guy. They get the ball inside the 10. Gibbs is the guy that's going to get him up and down the field. They'll give him the ball once in a while, but inside the 5, it's going to Riley. And he's been battling some injuries here the last couple of weeks. One of his teammates told me that while we weren't sure if he was in himself, was he going to make it there? Friday night, the bell rings. He's out there going both ways.
Wow,
that's the kind
just
of kid,
a warrior.
That's the kind of kid you love, and that's the kind of kids that Randy's got. And when his players are telling me they want to win, they have a chance to win a share of the conference title with the win over Edgewood. They want to win it for their coach. That tells me an awful lot about how that culture and that program has changed and where they are right now that they are contending. They still aren't at the level where Mount Horeb-Barneville was because they got trounced 43-10 in the second half of that game. But their loss to Holman and their loss to Mount Horeb-Barneville, they've bounced back the next week, found other ways to make adjustments. But this is the big game. Last year, ironically, this was to go to the playoffs. And remember, Edgewood got eliminated and then found out the next day they were in, which they shouldn't have been.
Yep.
This year, they're playing for the conference title, and Sauk is trying to make sure they get a share and that Edgewood doesn't get it outright. So that makes the game really fun, which we get to call.
Yes, it's going to be a great game over at Breese Stevens Field. That'll be Friday. Our coverage will start at 6:30, kickoff at 7 p.m. on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel for that game. Some other games in the Badger Small. Lakeside Lutheran got their first win of the year as they took down Portage 18-16. Huge win for Lakeside Lutheran. They'd been struggling. They're going to go to the Capital Conference. They'll match up better there next year, but a nice, great win late in the season for Lakeside. You know, the last thing you ever want in your season is to go winless. So, yeah,
correct.
Getting that win was big for Lakeside Lutheran. And then the big game.
Coach Leckwey, yes. We're happy for him on that one.
Definitely. And then the big game last week in the Badger Small. Edgewood at Mount Horeb-Barneveld. The Edgewood Crusaders getting a 27-20 win. Honestly, Dennis, kind of shocking everybody. Jesse Norris and that Crusaders squad, they're a really good team. I wasn't sure if they were going to be able to go on the road and take down Mount Horeb-Barneveld. And this was a game that Mount Horeb-Barneveld had a 13-0 lead in after the first quarter. And then Edgewood just responded by scoring themselves. They tie it up at the half. Then they get that touchdown in the third quarter to end up getting the 27-20 win. So huge game from Gannon Bagstad. He threw for 141. Yep, 118 yards on the ground, 4 touchdowns in that victory. Edgewood's undefeated, and like you just said, they're looking for a share of that conference title, or an outright conference title with a win against Sauk. If they lose to Sauk, then it's a 3-way tie with Mount Horeb-Barneveld, Sauk, and Edgewood all being one-loss teams, and they all would have beaten each other then in the season.
Nobody likes to share.
No, I don't want to share. I want an outright title.
Catholics over at Edgewood going, no, we're not going to share. We want it.
Yep.
And Coach Norris said, yeah, we want it. But again, Gannon Bagstad's had a fantastic year. He's the September Madison Sports Hall of Fame Male Athlete of the Month. He'll be honored here in a couple of weeks. That goes out tomorrow, so kind of tip my hand on that one. But he's just had a fantastic year, and you look at where he came into the program. It's a 155-pound, 5'8" guy, whatever, what he's grown into. And Coach Norris is really proud of his development as a student athlete.
Yeah. And then we look up to the Badger Large Conference, Monona Grove with a 31-0 win against Sun Prairie West. Monona Grove is rolling. We're going to talk about them more later on in this program as they make an appearance in our media poll. I'll tease that. And then we had Oregon with a 47-8 win against Fort Atkinson. Waunakee 52-14 win over their rivals DeForest at DeForest. And then the big game from the Badger Large, the game you and Riley Yauk were at. Riley Yauk's alma mater getting a 32-28 victory against Sun Prairie East. The Red Hawks taking down the Cardinals. They had, it seemed like, 2 onside kicks that they recovered in that game? It was 1.
They got a touchdown, so they had to go down and get a touchdown, and they did, and a 2-point conversion. Then they get the onside kick. went 10 yards. Coach Kaminsky for Sun Prairie East did not think so. He was out there. He's pretty angry about that. But then they come back and get another touchdown, and then they were able to Sun Prairie East had a chance, and the ball got a pass interference call in the end zone. Does not go to the 1 yard line like it does in the pros. It goes half the distance. So they had another shot, but pass was intercepted in the game. And Red Hawks just phenomenal. And in that game, it was a kickoff return for a touchdown. And we were kind of checking off on our bingo card all these things that were going on. And unfortunately, Sun Prairie's kicker, Brady Mellum, who's one of the best in the state, he had a 51-yarder that just went left, and then he had another one blocked.
Oh.
So those are kind of crushers there. But he also put 4 kickoffs in the end zone and made all 4 extra points. So, like they say, it's a team effort. It's not one guy failing on it. And I just wish, after Riley and I had seen Brady went through like 60 yards earlier in the season, we thought it was doable. But on that night, just a little bit of wind and just went left. So, unfortunately, for the Cardinals, and that was homecoming and senior night, a combination of stuff. And Milton went in and ruined the homecoming, which Coach Prowl was pretty happy about.
Yeah.
Sorry, Cardinals.
Yeah, as you would expect him to be. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. We are live on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, as well as up on the Daily Dodge YouTube channel. We continue on looking back at the week that was from area high school football onto the Big 8 conference, and Madison West had a big win against Janesville Craig, 24-14. That's really helping their playoff seeding. They're down towards the bottom part of the playoff seeding for Division I, so getting that win against Craig was a big help to their resume with the playoff matrix and some points there. Middleton just absolutely dominated Madison La Follette 56-7 in that win. West and Middleton will be playing each other on Thursday night. Dennis and Jesse Nelson will be on the call for that one. It'll be a 6:30 coverage. Will start 7 o'clock kickoff on Thursday for that game. And again, that'll be on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel, as well as on the ESPN Wisconsin app. You can stream the audio of that broadcast, as well as we will have Brewers NLCS against the Dodgers going on as well at that time.
And that West game with Craig, special teams are huge. Again, like the way that kickoff return for a touchdown in the Sun Prairie East Milton game. This one, there were a couple of muffed punts, and one West recovered on the 1 yard line, punched it in, and that was kind of the difference in the game. So we've talked a lot here the last couple of weeks how special teams have really come into play for teams. And Sun Prairie East wanted specials to be special. Well, they were, except for the onside kick team that wasn't special because Milton got it. But, yeah, that game, Madison West really needed that one, so now they go up to 5-3, 4-2. And like we said, a Middleton team that has not lost since that Bayport loss in week 1.
Yeah, Middleton is really rolling. 2 more games that happened in the Big 8. Then on Saturday, as we had Madison Memorial going to Janesville Parker, winning 35-7, did the Spartans, and then Verona taking care of business against Madison East, 54-6. So Verona, I feel like Verona is one of those teams where, because of their record, they had a tough early non-conference schedule. They lost both of those games. They dropped the game against Middleton. They're going to get kind of seeded a little bit lower than maybe where their talent is. I feel like that's a team that could surprise some people as we get into the postseason after they just had that 54-6 win.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Another team, though, that won on Saturday was Bell Phillips Memorial, 35-7 over Parker. And when I was talking to Coach Wolfgram, setting up the interview for today, he mentioned that A.J. Danzo, running back, had been out early in the season. He had a fantastic game, 175 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns in that game against Parker. So after an 0-5 start, which was also a tough schedule for the Spartans, remember they had only 3 returning starters, all at different positions, and their running back was out. 3-5. They're slim hopes they can win, and then we'll see what the metrics what the metrics come down to. That they have the formula, so you can't look at it and say, oh, if they do this, this is going to happen. We have to see how the numbers fall.
Yep.
And we'll find that out Saturday morning.
Yeah, and they're on the fringe. That's, again, we'll talk about them more and some other teams that are on the bubble with the Bubble Watch segment that we'll do later on the show here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. We'll also, at the end of the show, as we've been doing throughout the season, we will have our PrepMania on Deck segment. So you can text us at 844-770-3776. Let us know if there's a team or a game that you want us to talk about or we should be keeping our eyes on. We'll talk about that at the end of the show, or you can comment on the YouTube chat if you're watching along on the ESPN Madison YouTube chat or on the Daily Dodge one. We'll be checking that throughout the program, and then at the end of the show, we will be talking about that. After the break, we are going to be looking at our small and medium school polls as the Week 8 media polls for the ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll were released this past week. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. We're also brought to you by Tacticam. Reveal by Tacticam was created for hunters by hunters, but not created by this hunter. They're the leader in cellular trail cameras. Check out the full lineup of cellular trail cameras and power management accessories at tacticam.com and see why thousands of hunters trust Reveal. That's TACTA-CAM.com. When we come back, we will have the small and medium school polls for the ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll next on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Start your career where the road to success is paved in coffee. At Dunkin' Donuts, we're now hiring crew members and hourly shift leaders at our locally owned locations. Dunkin' offers flexible schedules, employee discounts, health and dental benefits, and paid time off. Plus, bolster your resume with our own leadership training program and even scholarship opportunities. Up to $1,500 per semester. Text Team Spirit to 85000 or visit teamtmart.com/careers to apply. Dunkin', America runs on you.
When the leaves start to fall and your roof starts to call, fix it in the fall, fix it in the fall. If your shingle's looking rough and your gutter's full of stuff, get it fixed before it's froze, man. It's time to call the pro. We patch it, we match it, we stop that drip. Free estimates, quick fix, don't let your roof slip. Your home's your castle, we keep it tight. Call Avondale Roofing, they roof it right. Fall deals dropping it like it's hot. Call Avondale Roofing at 855-819-7663.
Hi, I'm John Hayes of Goodman's Jewelers. It's hard to imagine, but Goodman's has been the diamond store of Madison since 1933, which means your parents, maybe even your grandparents might have shopped with us. We maintain the same high standards, honesty, and integrity that kept them coming back time and again. Keep their history and our history alive. Shop Goodman's Jewelers today in the heart of Madison at 220 State Street. We're online at goodmansjewelers.com.
The best is at Goodman's.
Breaking news on ESPN Madison is presented by Metro Ford and Metro Kia of Madison. Find the Metro family of auto dealers online or see them in person on the east side of Madison today.
To help those who want to be helped but may not be able to afford it.
That's what PGA Tour winner Grayson Murray had envisioned for a foundation before he sadly took his own life at just 30 years old. His parents channeled their grief into creating the Grayson Murray Foundation, carrying out his vision to help those struggling with mental health and addiction. To donate and learn more, visit GraysonMurrayFoundation.com.
America is kept safe because the Army National Guard responds, protects, and supports our nation when it needs them most. The Army National Guard responds to disasters such as wildfires and floods. They protect us with missile defense, cybersecurity, and civilian support teams for chemical, biological, and radiological hazards. Be there for your community and your country. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more about part-time service. Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
Injured? Call Gruber Law Offices today. One call, that's all.
On the air, on demand, on social, on Wisconsin Sports. Serving Wisconsin sports fans. This is 100.5 ESPN. This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Sometimes my mind plays tricks on me. It all keeps adding up.
We continue on with Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the dancing dean, Dennis Semrau, here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. We're also brought to you by Madison Axe. Planning a corporate event, private party, or team outing, Madison Axe is your state-of-the-art entertainment spot with 8 lanes of axe throwing and interactive games. Go to MadisonAxe.com or head to their location on Stoughton Road today. Throw it, nail it, celebrate. Like I said before the break, we are now going to go through the small and medium school polls for Week 8. We've been combining them because, really, Dennis, we haven't seen a ton of variation off of these polls. We'll begin with the small school poll for this week. Starting at number 10, it is the Lourdes Academy again. They haven't moved. Same with Manitowoc Lutheran at number 9. Then the interesting spot here is number 7, Blackhawk Warren, and number 8, Potosi Cassville. Those two are going to play each other this week for what will be a Six Rivers Conference title game because both teams are currently undefeated.
This is going to be a natural running clock game. Trust me. Right now, coming into this one, Blackhawk Warren, 2,468 yards rushing. They've got Jacob Woodruff's 913 yards. But Potosi Cassville, 2,699 rushing. Mm-hmm. They have 2,000-yard rushers already. River Sayre with 1,033, and Hunter.
Hey,
you got to like it. Hunter Way with 1,020. Going into this game, Potosi Cassville is averaging 41.4 points a game. Blackhawk Warren 39.8. But both teams are averaging 24 combined defensively. So who's going to win this one out? Last team with the ball?
Yeah, I have a feeling this will be the last team with the ball, and it's going to be one of those spots where it's last team with the ball with like 4 minutes left in the game. And then they're going to go on a drive to run the clock out and end up kicking a short field goal or getting a touchdown to win that game. I don't expect this game to be a shootout. Like it's just
ground and pound, baby.
Yeah, it's
ground and pound. Yeah,
and I say I don't expect it to be a shootout just from the typical sense of we're not going to see 70 combined points in this game or even 60. This will be I think both teams will score on almost every possession, but because they run the ball so much, that clock is going to be running so fast that it's going to be like you get 4 possessions in this game, you got to score 28 points to be able to be in this game.
Yeah, definitely. Yes. Defense, well, see, this could come to, again, special teams. Somebody making a big play or making that one mistake, a turnover in the red zone or a turnover after a punt back in your own territory. That could sway the difference.
So we continue on through the small school media poll for Week 8 here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. At number 6 again is Boyceville. They're going to be at Turtle Lake. And this is a Dunn St. Croix Conference title game in the sense for Boyceville, if they win the conference title outright. But if Turtle Lake gets a victory, then it will be a share of the conference title between Turtle Lake and Boyceville. Kenosha St. Joseph Catholic, they've been at number 5 basically all season long. They did get one first-place vote again, but they stay at number 5. The Pirates of Grantsburg, again, at number 4. They're undefeated. They just keep on rolling, but the problem is the teams up ahead of them also continue to win. At number 3 is Regis, and then a tie for number 1. So, Dennis, do we want to count this as Edgar loses their number 1 reign? Because they'd been number 1 all year, and it was a no one else at number 1. But Darlington getting a tie at number 1. Even though Darlington only got 2 first-place votes, there were a few voters that had Edgar down into that 3-4 spot, which is why they didn't quite get enough points to sit alone at number 1.
There for Edgar. I don't know about that. You look at they've only given 6 shutouts. Oh my God!
Edgar hasn't allowed a point since September 12th when they gave up 6 points in a win.
Yeah, I just think that's phenomenal. And they got Abbotsford this week, 5-1 team conference, and just won the conference title outright with this one. But yeah, I mean the points are tied, but Edgar's got 5 more first place votes, so somebody's dissing him. Somebody's dissing him a little bit.
Yeah, and honestly, this is where I think sometimes we have some fans who get a little frustrated with the media poll because they don't quite understand, one, the fact that, we have voters from the Milwaukee area, Green Bay, down here in Madison, the La Crosse area. We have some people that are up towards Stevens Point. We have people from all over the state. They don't necessarily get to see Edgar play a whole lot, so they're like, well, I don't know if they're that good. I've got this so-and-so like Kenosha St. Joseph getting a first-place vote almost every single week this year. You have a voter from the Milwaukee area. They see more of Kenosha. They're going to be thinking that they are a little bit higher. And then that's just kind of what happens here when you have those voter opinions.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we've got our own. And in a lot of cases, you try to get some, like 9. I usually use 9 and 10 for a local team, whatever I think. Or maybe somebody that should get in the poll or people should start looking at. But yeah, it's it's personal opinion. And as the coach will say, it doesn't matter. All that matters is the 20th and 21st of November at Camp Randall.
That's absolutely right, as that is our small school media poll. We will move to the medium school poll, but first, Pizza Hut delivers a win every time with the big dinner box. Just $19.99. That's 2 medium, 1 topping pizzas, 8 boneless wings, and 5 breadsticks. Feed the whole team for one unbeatable price. Head to one of their locations or online at pizzahut.com today. Feed good times. Only at Pizza Hut, the official pizza of PrepMania. Now we move to our medium school poll for week 8 of the high school football season. And as we begin looking at our medium school poll, we have a tie at number 10, where the Plymouth Panthers and the Edgewood Crusaders tie at number 10. Edgewood making their first ever appearance in our media poll, checking in at number 10. They're coming off of a 27-20 win at Mount Horeb Barneveld, and Plymouth, they've got a big game here at the end of the season. They're looking to get a perfect season through this regular season, but standing in their way is a Beaver Dam team that they're feeling like maybe they need to get that one last win to get themselves into the playoffs for sure, and they want to spoil a perfect season for a team in their conference. So that's a big game for both Plymouth and Beaver Dam coming up here in week 9.
And the motivation for the Golden Beavers, it's senior night.
Perfect.
There you go. Take one home. You'll never forget your senior night if you can knock off the unbeaten conference leader.
As we continue on through our medium school poll here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, at number 9, Baldwin Woodville. They've been sticking around right in that 8, 9, 7 kind of area all season long. Then it is Racine St. Catherine's at number 8. They, with a win, can split with either Lake Country Lutheran or Martin Luther. That'll be the winner of that Lake Country Lutheran and Martin Luther game at the end of the season. So Racine St. Catherine's a chance to get a split of a title. They had some issues after a fight that broke out on the field. They had a number of players suspended. They lost that next game to Brown Deer. That gave them that one loss in conference play. So then they've had to kind of battle with Lake Country Lutheran and Martin Luther throughout the year then for that conference title. Continuing on, another area team is number 7. Columbus is in at number 7, the Cardinals. Then at number 6 is Rice Lake. They had been number 1 for a big chunk of the season, and they've got a Big Rivers title game with Hudson, and then the winner of that game would likely split with River Falls for the Big Rivers championship game. Then at number 5 is Grafton, just beating out Rice Lake for that number 5 spot by just 2 points. Continuing on then at number 4 is going to be Winneconne. The Winneconne Wolves, huge game to finish off their season. Undefeated, as so is Seymour, and that'll be a Bay Conference title game between Winneconne and Seymour.
And my favorite team coming up, and Todd Sommerfeld's favorite team, number 3.
At number 3, the Aquinas Blue Golds getting a number 1 vote. Dennis saying right there, and again, I know Todd doesn't care if we out his vote. He voted for Aquinas as number 1, and he's been adamant about them being the best team, and he thinks they're being disrespected.
Yeah, the win over West Salem, that was their test. They passed that. They've now won 20 straight conference games, another Cooley Conference title, and unbeaten. And Columbus's one loss was to Aquinas.
Yeah, and that's big for Columbus. It's going to hurt Columbus when it comes to playoff seedings, but it also then kind of maybe teams kind of overlook them a little bit because they usually expect Columbus to be a 1 seed. So you can kind of maybe get some better matchups, kind of a thing for Columbus as we continue on with our medium school poll here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. At number 2, Catholic Memorial. They've won 7 in a row after their Week 1 loss to Franklin. Franklin, a team we'll talk about in the large school poll. So Catholic Memorial doing exactly what we expect them to do. When you talk about Catholic Memorial, Aquinas, as well as then our number 1 team, Green Bay, Notre Dame, who got 10 first-place votes. Those are the teams where the regular season is still important. You still want to be playing good football, figure out who you are, the players that you have, and everything like that. But their season really begins next week when you get to the playoffs. They're all teams that have their eyes set on Camp Randall. And for Green Bay, Notre Dame, they're the number 1 team again this week. But they have a FRCC South Championship game to finish off their season. They'll take on undefeated 8-0 Oshkosh North to finish off their season. So a battle of unbeatens and a chance for a conference title.
And Kingston Allen, here's the update. He was behind Christian Collins. What did Collins do last year, right?
Just set a state championship game record.
So he's got 1,173 yards, 20 touchdowns. Despite missing a game early in the year, he also had an 87-yard touchdown pass, and he's on the defensive side as well. So Kingston Allen, you got to ride the horse, and if he has a great game, Notre Dame wins that one easily.
Again, that is our medium school poll here for the ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll. Recapping it real quick, a tie at number 10 between Plymouth and Edgewood. Then at number 9 is Baldwin Woodville. Racine St. Catherine's Angels checking in at 8. The Columbus Cardinals are the 7th-ranked team in the medium school poll. The Rice Lake Warriors at number 6. Number 5 is Grafton. Number 4, the Winneconne Wolves. Number 3, getting 1 first-place vote, the Aquinas Blue Golds. Then at number 2 are the Catholic Memorial Crusaders, and number 1 again this week is Green Bay Notre Dame, getting 10 of the 11 first place votes did the Tritons. That does it for our medium school poll. You can check out the ESPN Madison social media accounts to check out those full polls. We'll have the large school poll coming up a little bit later on. Also want to remind you, don't forget to click that subscribe button on the YouTube channel for both ESPN Madison or Daily Dodge. That'll give you alerts anytime that we go live as channels. Plus, hit that like button on our account. That tells us as a station that you like the content we're doing, that you want to see more of this type of content. It helps us know what it is as a fan you do or don't like, so we really appreciate those likes on the video as well. Coming up after the break, we'll hear from our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. Also, we'll have the head coach of Madison West, Mike Wolfgram, joining the program, and a little bit later on, we will hear from Randy Wallace, the head coach of Sauk Prairie, as we get ready for our double header of games to finish off the high school football season. It's a tradition that we do every year here at ESPN Madison. Finish off, start and end the season with a Thursday-Friday matchup when we can for those games, and that's what we'll be doing again this year with a Thursday and a Friday game here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania. Again, when we come back, we'll hear from the UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Make a difference and donate blood today. Impact Life and Stoughton Health are bringing a blood drive for the community to the community. Friday, October 17th from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at our Community Health and Wellness Center. 3162 County Road B. Appointments encouraged. Sign up online at bloodcenter.org or call 800-747-5401. Group code 3643. That's Friday, October 17th. Learn more at stoughtonhealth.com. Creating excellence together.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Shop the Pig! The new Piggly Wiggly Pig Points program is here, and earning rewards just got easier. Now you'll earn 10 Pig Points for every $1 you spend, and redeem those points on your favorite products right in the store. It's simple, it's rewarding, and it's all right here at your neighborhood Piggly Wiggly. So shop more, earn more, and save more only at Piggly Wiggly. Sign up today at shopthepig.com.
Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side. When you see Diamond Jim, you can count on him to be on your side. Selection beyond compare with on-site repair, so you can wear your jewelry with pride. Condon Jewelers, the jeweler on the east side, the jeweler on your side.
It's football season in Wisconsin and the energy is electric. Get ready to fuel up the hype with Monster Energy. With bold flavors and that legendary kick, Monster gives you the power to go all 4 quarters. Whether you're tailgating before the big game, watching with friends at home, or catching every play at your favorite spot. Because game day isn't just about football. It's about bringing the energy wherever you are. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly to pick up a Monster Energy drink today. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Join the Madison Money Guy, Christian Finfrock, for Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Get the information you need as you plan for retirement. That's Retirement Income Strategies, Saturday and Sunday mornings at 7. Investment advisory services offered through Retirement Income Strategies, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
We ask and you answer. Tune in to Jim, Matt, and Molly every weekday 4 to 6. And follow at Jim, Matt, Molly on X to vote in daily poll questions. Presented by Siding Unlimited, your local window installation pros. This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
God knows I am reincarnated. I was stargazing.
Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. It's now time for us to hear from our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week. This week from Middleton High School, it is Tyler Vogt.
Our ESPN Madison UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tyler Vogt, Middleton High School. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Now, you play football and baseball.
Yep.
Baseball had always been your love, but kind of changed a little bit when you got to high school.
Yeah, so I started football my freshman year, and I was like, man, this is something. This is awesome. So I just started rolling with it, and I started falling in love with the sport and baseball my whole life. I mean, I still love it. I plan to play in the spring, and just have fun with it.
Now, with football, you were a running back at one point, but something about linebacker. What do you like about being a linebacker?
Linebacker, just there's this, there's the mental side of it. like reading plays, reading guards, knowing where you got to be, the technique you got to have. There's something to that where I just love it. It's like being a catcher in baseball. I remember when we were on the phone, you asked me how baseball and football are compatible, and catching and being a linebacker is like the same skills transfer over.
Other activities you're involved in school, there's some leadership teams you're with?
Yeah, so last year I was part of this club called Fuse, which is like this primarily like Christian club within our school, but it's open to everyone. And basically what we were doing was learning about God, learning about Jesus, and spreading love throughout our high school community. So like we would make little like gift baskets for the teachers just randomly out of nowhere, just for their appreciation. We would also like come out and help clean the bleachers after football or after like different sporting events, that kind of stuff. And then I'm also part of the Football Leadership Council. You apply to this council, and we got together every single Wednesday through the off season, through the summer, and we would read this book called The Twin Thieves, which is about the fear of judgment and the fear of failure. And in that book, we learned a lot of ways we can bring to our own leadership and then bring to our team and like community aspect and how we go through adversity and or like how we ride the highs and the lows. And we brought that back to football, and it was a great time. We got to learn about each other more and just see what we can do with the football team.
You want to play football in college?
I do, yes.
What are you looking to study in college?
Kinesiology. So I'm hoping to study kinesiology and try to become a physical therapist one day. I've always wanted to be in the medical path. My dad's a family physician. I've always thought maybe I go the family physician route, but med school is not for me. Med school is not for me doing all that schooling. But along with staying with in athletics and being able to do that, or being a physical therapist allows me to do that.
Well, last thing, you look back in your time, you still got your senior year.
Yep.
But what kind of impact will Middleton leave on you when you leave this campus?
I'm proud to be a Cardinal. I will always be proud to be a Cardinal. The community, the love, the brotherhood within the football team, within the baseball team. We talked about the welcoming factor. Like I walked into that school and there's a bunch of deans there like checking all of our IDs to see if we're going in. I'm like, hey, what's up, man? I hope your day is going great. And they're giving me fist bumps, and you go into that school and you feel welcomed, you feel loved, you feel like you belong. I'll always remember that.
Excellent. Well, our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tyler Vaughn from Middleton High School. I hope you have a great rest of your senior year.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Again, that was our UW Credit Union Student Athlete of the Week, Tyler Vogt from Middleton High School. After the break, we're joined by the head coach of Madison West, Mike Wolfgram, right here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly on ESPN Wisconsin.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Audi Madison is where performance meets precision. Take advantage of the 3.99% APR for 72 months, plus $6,000 customer bonus when you purchase a 2025 Audi A6 sedan 5.5 TFSI Quattro. No down payment to qualified credit, must finance through Wells Fargo. Customer bonus is only available until November 3rd. Stop in and test drive today. Check out AudiMadison.com to see current inventory and specials. Start your adventure at Audi Madison today, off the Beltline and Rimrock Road.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher here with a refreshing offer for a bath or shower remodel from Kohler Services. And this month only, get 0 interest financing for 12 months and a free shower door with your Lugstone shower remodel. My new friend Chris from Oostburg is one of their skilled installers who demos your existing bath or shower, removes it, and disposes it before installing your brand new dream shower. Visit KohlerServicesWI.com to request your free quote with fast professional installation always included. That's KohlerServicesWI.com.
How much does it cost to talk to Gruber Law Offices after a serious crash? It's free. Yes, free. As in, it won't cost you anything to speak with us. Not sure if you have a case? Call our team at Gruber Law Offices today. Your first call and your first consultation are always free. And you'll never pay us a fee until we win your case. If you've been seriously injured, call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
I knew that we were going to be getting engaged soon and needed to do some ring shopping. Heard the radio ads of Chalmers and decided, hey, we should give it a shot at Chalmers.
They were just awesome at accepting us through the door and understanding what she wanted in terms of how she wanted it, and they delivered.
Everybody always is telling me how sparkly my ring is. They tell me that they really like the style of the ring and the setting that it's in. I am ecstatic with it.
Thank you, Chalmers.
Wisconsin icon.
It's all about the Badgers.
The dawn of the Wisconsin Badgers.
We did it better than everybody for 20-some years.
Joined by 2 of his football legends.
I like all of them, except for quarterback. I like defensive ends. Hey, I really like defensive ends.
Someone didn't like kickers at one point.
The Barry Alvarez Show with Barry Alvarez, Tarek Sala, Derek Engler, and Jesse Nelson. Live from Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton every Monday night. Right here on 100.5 ESPN and the ESPN Wisconsin app. This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
No sleep till!
Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. It's now time for our Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profile. The lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. Teased it before the break. Joining us now, the head coach of the Madison West Regents, Mike Wolfgram, in his 4th year as the head coach. Is that correct, Mike? 1999 grad as well of the high school?
Yep, graduated in 99, and this will be the 4th season as coach, yep.
So I wanted to start with that because, I'm not very good at math, but I understand, 4th year as the head coach. That means these seniors would have been freshmen when you started with them. And just thinking about this senior class, your team's 5-3 right now, looking like you should be able to get into the postseason here this year. What has this senior class meant to you as a coach?
They mean a ton. We were kind of in a rough spot with numbers the first year and facilities, because those of you that live in Madison know we had the referendum for facilities. So we were all practicing on one football field for basically the first 2 years. So I saw these guys when they were the first day of practice as 9th graders, and a lot of them were with us on the varsity as 10th graders and heading into 11th and 12th grade as well. And watching them grow and develop has been really exciting. I mean, one of the things we emphasize is getting a little bit better every day, a little bit better every year, and to see these guys' growth over 4 years has been really exciting.
Yeah, Mike, we talk about coaches being in the building. Last time I checked, you were the coordinator for student engagement for the Madison Metropolitan School District. Is that still correct?
So this year I have a slightly different title, but I am in the building. This year I'm the Restorative Justice Coordinator, which focuses a lot on building relationships, creating a sense of belonging in the building. Some similarities to the Student Engagement Coordinator. And I'm in my 3rd year over here. Previously I worked at an elementary school in Madison.
Right. So how big is that, just to be in the building with the boys?
It's huge. That's a big part of the reason why I transferred over, just to be able to have that contact with them every day, to check in with them about their school, check in with them about everything. I really believe, high school athletics, extracurriculars are about engaging kids in the school community, and being in the building helps me to do that in a more robust way.
We talked that you got a compliment from, I think, the principal about everybody that was dressed was eligible. That wasn't the case when you started out.
Yeah, that's one of the things I am super, super gratified about, is that the kids really are becoming student athletes and taking themselves seriously as students. And that we did struggle with eligibility at first, and that's something that we've largely overcome.
I apologized to you when we had you in for our coaches roundtable at the beginning of the year, but for those that don't know, there was the issue of last season. Your team should have gotten into the postseason. They did not. This year, though, you're putting yourselves what seems to be a much better spot. Now that you're into the end of the season, is there any messaging about that as you've got this final game against Middleton, or is it all just about, okay, this is just the 1 week, this just happens to be our opponent, and there's nothing else that you're really talking about other than it's just you got Middleton this week?
I mean, really, we did talk about the sort of the fiasco with the playoffs last year, some at the beginning of the year, but it hasn't been a common sense of or common topic of conversation. We really try to get the kids to focus on the moment, what's in front of them, what's the task they need to accomplish now. And right now that's trying to get ready to play a great Middleton team on a short week. So we're really focused on the things we normally focus on: playing together, playing physical, being focused, having fun out there on the field.
We're joined by the head coach of Madison West, Mike Wolfgram. Mike, what is it that your team, when it comes to the on the field, the football X's and O's, what do you think your team does the best?
I think the thing we do the best is play together. Our defense rallies to the ball super hard. We're very disciplined in our coverages and knowing our gap assignments and our run fits. On offense, our offensive line has really it was an inexperienced group coming into the season, but they've gelled together well, and we use zone blocking, and they've figured that out and are really working well in combination with our running back Kamari Carter and our skill guys in general. So I think our biggest thing is we play together. We trust each other.
Now, you mentioned the zone blocking. Did you change up your blocking scheme from what you had been doing in the past, or is this, just something that it just takes time for the O-line as a unit to kind of figure out together?
We made a shift in the offseason this year. We went to the zone blocking because we felt we're pretty inexperienced football players often because we don't have a real strong feeder program at the moment. So 3 of our starting offensive linemen this year didn't come out for football till 10th grade or later. So zone blocking made it a little bit simpler in terms of assignment, so we could focus a lot on technique, and really proud of their growth.
Coach, anytime I can talk about the offensive line and give them some shout-outs, I looked at the size of these guys. You average about 6'2", 275. A lot of colleges would like to have that size. You want to give a shout-out to the 5 starters that you gave me?
Yeah, so our left tackle is Sebastian Peets. Our left guard is Jarrell Truitt. Our center is Josh Douglas. Right guard is Juan Montalvo. And then right tackle is Eugen Papa.
And you mentioned that Peets was a cross-country runner.
Yeah,
So he's 6'4", 270. Oh my God.
Sebastian, or Seabass as we call him, got to know him in the weight room later in his freshman year. And he had been on the cross-country team. We kind of were trying to put a little pressure on him to give football a try. He went out for cross-country again as a 10th grader, but he joined us last year, played on the JV team, and he's been rock solid as a left tackle this year.
Is that something because of that cross-country experience? You notice like the conditioning, like he's usually doing better than some of the other guys.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to get as tired as some of the other guys. He's got great feet, which maybe is cross-country, maybe is just his natural ability. But he's a great kid, works hard.
Now, your team on the season, like I said, you're 5-3. You haven't lost back-to-back games at all this season. You lose week 2 at Brookfield East. You lose on the road to Janesville Parker as well in the season, and that road loss to Verona just the other week. What is it about this team that you guys have been able to bounce back if you've had a tough loss to then be able to just turn right around and still get a win and not have a spot where you're stringing together any losses?
One of the things, in addition to playing together and trusting each other, one of the things we talk about constantly is being resilient and bouncing back when things are tough. It's something that as coaches that we just expect out of our kids. Just because something bad happened one day doesn't mean that the next day's got to be bad. Put the work in and have good process, and the results will come.
You touched briefly about the lack of a youth program, but you recruited a lot of athletes. You've got a lot of multiple sport athletes on your team. A couple of them in particular, Jack McDonald and then Michael Swalman, and then your quarterback. You want to talk about their development in particular?
Yeah, that's something we've got to do is get the best athletes in the building out for football if we can. Jack McDonald he's been a starter on the basketball team. His first time playing football was as a freshman, and he broke his collarbone right away, so he didn't really play that year. But he's fantastic athlete. He's about 6'3", almost 200 pounds, catches the ball well. Also starter on the basketball team is Quincy Mosley, who plays receiver for us as well. And then Michael Swamanen he's our quarterback. Again, another kid who didn't play football till high school, but he was an all-conference baseball player at designated hitter last year. So talented kid. And just the competition that you get from playing multiple sports, that being in competitive situations is a skill. And the more the kids practice it, the better they'll get at it.
And I guess, too, Coach, you look at from freshman year to now, just the improvement on it and numbers. How are your numbers, and what's the status of a possible youth program?
So our numbers for seniors are fantastic. We're going to celebrate 26 seniors tomorrow at senior night. Numbers are a little bit lower in our sophomore and junior class. Freshman class is pretty big. But that's something that we always, especially with our youth program, we've got to try to get in the middle schools. I've got coaches who go out and do flag football in the spring in the middle schools to try to recruit. In terms of a tackle youth program, that's a work in progress. It's definitely becoming more of a priority as I feel we've gotten more of a solid footing at the high school level. We've got to start getting a few more kids in who've played tackle football before ninth grade. Usually we're at like 5, 6, 7, 8 kids at the most who've played tackle football coming in.
We're joined by the head coach of Madison West, Mike Wolfgram. Mike, we look ahead to now tomorrow night where you take on Middleton. Last year, you guys lost to Middleton 7-3, just a tight game. What was it about Middleton, or what is it about them that makes them so difficult to kind of deal with, play against? What is it that they do well?
It's a really strong program. They're extremely well coached. Coach Simon, Coach Poles, and their staff are experienced. They know what they're doing, and they've got. In contrast to us, they've got a really strong youth program. They've got a lot of kids out, so depth is big for them. As long as I've been coaching football or playing football at West, Middleton has kind of been one of the big dogs in the conference. But I think our kids showed last year it's not a team we have to fear, that we can get out there and be physical with them and compete with them. And if we can play clean football and take care of the ball and play together, we can compete, have a chance to win.
Yeah, and last year it was a defensive touchdown for Middleton.
I think the first possession of the game, Torrin Petaway, who's with the Badgers now, forced a fumble, picked it up, scored, and it was 7-0 right away, and then ended up 7-3.
Man, tough way to lose your season. Yeah, is that kind of what you're expecting again? Just that like low scoring, tough battle. Anything you can kind of give us there on what you're maybe expecting tomorrow night?
It's hard to. Honestly, I can't believe we held them to no offensive touchdowns last year. They're a very talented team. Pasaglia, their quarterback, is fantastic. You got to keep him contained in the pocket, or he'll hurt you with his feet or his arm. Elijah Jackson at running back is a big, strong kid. Middleton always has a good O-line. The receivers are talented and run good routes, catch the ball. If we play disciplined and we play sound and trust each other, play together and tackle, we got a chance. But I don't expect it to be 7-3 again, no.
Mike, thank you so much for your time here this evening. We really appreciate you joining the show, and good luck tomorrow night as, again, you take on Middleton. It'll be a 7 o'clock kickoff. Our coverage of the game will start at 6:30 for that one. But, again, thank you for the time.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Again, that was the head coach of Madison West, Mike Wolfgram. Like I said, their game will kick off at 7 o'clock against Middleton, with 6:30 being the start of the coverage for that one, as we will have Jesse Nelson and Dennis Semrau on the call for that one. We'll take a short break. When we come back, we still have to unveil our large school media poll, plus the head coach of Sauk Prairie, Randy Wallace, will be joining the dean and I. And again, leave your PrepMania on deck games or teams or events that you want the dean and I to talk about. You can leave that in the YouTube comments, or you can text in at 844-770-3776, and then Dennis and I will talk about those games to wrap up our show here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Hour 2 of PrepMania Weekly starts in 2 minutes.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Stop in for an express oil change at Fish Hatchery Road on Saturdays. No appointment necessary. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Actual price will depend on product and subscription plan. Featured products are compounded drug products, which the FDA does not approve or verify for safety, effectiveness, or quality. Prescription products require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. See website for details, restrictions, and important safety information.
Want a boost in and out of the bedroom? Hims has you covered. Introducing a new 2-in-1 approach to level up your game. Tadalafil for better bedroom performance and zinc for testosterone support. Put it all together and you've got what you need to turn things all the way up. Getting started is simple. Just go to hims.com/joy to start your free online visit. Through Hims, you can access ED treatments including pills, chews, and more. 100% online. No office visits, no pharmacy lines. Just fill out a simple intake form and a licensed medical provider will determine if treatment's right for you. If prescribed, it ships free and discreetly to your door. Find affordable treatment options at up to 95% less than brand names at hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy, hims.com/joy.
Liberty Station American Tavern and Smokehouse isn't just a barbecue restaurant. Open daily for lunch and dinner, Liberty Station serves American comfort food with regional touches using many locally sourced ingredients. The bar at Liberty Station offers vintage cocktails created in a classic style, local craft beers, plus a wide array of wine options. And be sure to check out their sprawling patio with an indoor and outdoor porch area. Liberty Station, conveniently located just off the Beltline on Rimrock Road.
Hi, this is Dave Kane. You're listening to Madison's Home of the Bucks, a good Karma brand radio station, 100.5 ESPN WTLX, Monona, Madison.
The biggest moments.
One man to beat up the right sideline.
See ya, baby.
99-yard touchdown run.
The biggest games.
Back-to-back state championships.
The biggest stories from area high school sports. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Alongside the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau, here's Hunter Vaughn.
Hour 2 of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I am Hunter Vaughn. With me, the man, the myth, the legend, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. Again, a big thank you to Mike Wolfgram, the head coach of Madison West, for joining us. If you missed any of that interview, you can always watch it back on the ESPN Madison YouTube channel or on Daily Dodge, as well as get the podcast of this show on the ESPN Wisconsin app or wherever you get your podcasts. Again, this is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. Zimbrick Honda has been a part of the Madison community since 1973. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations, one on Fish Hatchery Road and the other on Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. If you need new tires at Zimbrick Honda, buy 3 tires and get the 4th for how much, Dennis?
$1.
That's right, just $1. Shop local, shop Zimbrick Honda. It's now time for us to unveil our large school media poll. For those that maybe are joining us for the first time or haven't heard us before, we do an ESPN Wisconsin Media Poll every week of the high school football regular season. Our large schools are schools with an enrollment of 900 students and up. And this week for our large school poll, checking in at number 10 is Hamilton. The Chargers lost last week 21-20 to Arrowhead. They were number 8 in the state. They fell down to number 10. So even with that loss to Arrowhead, the voters still feeling good about Hamilton and putting them at number 10.
Yeah, it helped that Bayport also lost.
Yep.
Pullman lost. A couple other teams that were kind of vying for the lower spot. But Hamilton's had a great season. Brookfield Central wraps up the regular season Friday.
And then at number 9, an area team making their first ever appearance in our media polls is Monona Grove. They shut out their last 2 opponents. They're 7-1, and their only loss was back in week 3 by 1 point in overtime to Waunakee. So the Silver Eagles, they're rolling, Dennis. They're a team that we've got our eyes on for some potential level 3, level 4 type of team. Maybe even a run to state in Division 2.
Yeah, great defense. The front 7 we've talked about all season long. And if you got good defense when it comes to playoffs, be able to run the ball a little bit, you'll be fine.
Then at number 8, the Lake Geneva Badgers. Love that name. They're undefeated, and they have a Southern Lakes title game on the line as they take on undefeated Union Grove.
Yeah, they always play with a running clock, natural or otherwise. Matt O'Grady, quarterback, 1,186 yards, 18 touchdowns. Okay, over-under on passes attempted for them in 8 games.
In 8 games, oh, geez. 40.
26.
Oh, my goodness. I am terrible at that game. You'd think I would learn.
Yeah, O'Grady is 12 of 26, 5 touchdowns, and they average 31.9 yards a catch. So it tells you, run. Oops. Well, how'd that guy get behind us in the secondary for a touchdown? Yeah, but and they've rushed for almost 3,200 yards as a team here in 8 games. That is ground and pound, as we saw in the state finals against Waunakee a couple of years ago. And O'Grady is taking over quarterback, and they've got some studs down there. But that's a team that's built for playoffs.
Yep.
Defense, they're averaging, I think, coming in 45 points, giving up 12 a game. So almost playing with the running clock almost every game.
Yeah, the Badger just keeps on rolling, and again, we expect them to be able to make a run towards state again this year. Continuing on through our large school Week 8 media poll, at number 7, the Neenah Rockets. They survived against Fond du Lac with a 31-29 win last week. Expect them to be able to win their conference title for the Rockets at number 7. Edging out the Rockets by just 2 points, the Highlanders of Homestead for number 6. They will win the North Shore Conference title outright with a win against West Bend West this Friday. If they lose, they will then split with West Bend West for a North Shore title. At number 5, the Arrowhead Warhawks staying put at number 5, even though they had a 1-point win against Hamilton. The problem was, Dennis, the teams all up above Arrowhead also won.
That's correct. So you're looking at Kettle Moraine for their last game in the conference. And Muskego right now, though, they're in the driver's seat unbeaten.
They absolutely are. As we continue on through our large school media poll, recapping the the first 6 teams in our media poll. At number 10 is Hamilton, the Monona Grove Silver Eagles at number 9. Number 8 is Badger from Lake Geneva. Then number 7, the Neenah Rockets. At 6, the Highlanders of Homestead. Then number 5, the Arrowhead Warhawks. Just beating out Arrowhead by 4 points for that 4th place in our media poll, and getting their first place vote of the season were the West De Pere Phantoms. Their quarterback, Patrick Greason, I've been talking about him all season long. If you don't know who he is, go watch some West De Pere football. He is incredible at quarterback. All he did was throw for 7 touchdowns in a 48-45 win against, at the time, a top 10 Bayport team. West De Pere is rolling. They're looking for some revenge. They lost to Rice Lake in level 4 last year of the playoffs. They want some revenge. They want to get to Camp Randall. They thought they should have been there last year, and they are definitely acting like it this year with that huge win against Bayport.
Yeah, when you got a quarterback like Greason, who's the leading candidate, I think, for Large School Player of the Year, bar none right now.
It's his award to lose.
Yes, definitely. So the longer you go in the playoffs, that awards, when they come down to it, how successful is the team, how far do you go in the playoffs, plus the individual numbers. But he's got it all, and coming in, he was the leading candidate. He's done nothing to change that.
Absolutely, especially when you throw 7 touchdowns.
Think about
against the top 10 team, too. The defending Division I state champs. You're a Division II team, and you went and threw 7 touchdown passes against them.
But by the time he gets to be our age, he'll be like 9, then 10, then 11.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The myth is going to grow, but 7? Oh, my. Most teams don't score 7 touchdowns in 2 weeks. He did that in a game. Incredible.
It's incredible. Patrick Greason, easily the best quarterback in the entire state. At number 3, getting 2 first-place votes in our large school media poll, the Waunakee Warriors. They host the Milton Redhawks for their final game of the year. If Milton can pull off the upset against Waunakee, that then creates a 3-way tie in the Badger Large Conference for a conference title. If Waunakee wins, then Waunakee would win the conference title outright.
Again.
Yes.
Unbeaten again. Right. So their test will be about level 2 or 3 in the playoffs.
Yep, and they'll be in Division I for the first time. So that will be something that'll be interesting. Or excuse me, they were in it last year too.
Yeah.
So
this will be the 3rd time in 4 years.
Yes.
But now because of with their success factor and everything, and it's predetermined, we don't have to wait to see how many teams make it. They are automatic in. And right now they're going for a number 1 seed. They're number 5, so it'd be a 2 seed. But we'll see what happens with the others in front of them.
Definitely. And then speaking of teams in front of them will be the number 2 team yet again, the Muskego Warriors, getting 2 first-place votes. They finish off their season with a rivalry game against Mukwonago. They're heated rivals.
Huge.
The last time these 2 teams played each other, it wasn't in the regular season. It was in the state semifinal with a bid to go to Camp Randall, and Muskego beat Mukwonago in that game on a neutral site. So you know Mukwonago's out for revenge. They want that upset victory. It's going to be a great game between Muskego and Mukwonago Week 9. I wish we could be at that game.
Yeah, we were at the one last year, opening kickoff for a touchdown.
Yep.
But then Muskego's defense was just phenomenal. And the way they run the football, and it's very difficult to see who's got the ball.
Yeah, they run that triple option, and they do such a great job of hiding the ball, using misdirection, unbalanced lines. They do it all at Muskego, and it just makes things really difficult to defend.
Another natural running clock team.
Yep.
They're just going to pound and ground you.
Exactly. And then yet again, our number 1 team in the large school media poll are the Franklin Sabres, getting 6 first-place votes. They survived a 24-17 win against Kenosha Indian Trail last week. They'll finish off their season. We expect them to finish it off with a win.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's
Racine Horlick's having a difficult year. Racine, of the public schools, my wife's a Racine Case alum, so I've started following Racine high school football a little bit more closely. Usually it's one of those schools is good at a sport. We saw Racine Park going to state. Now this year, Racine Case kind of the good football team, and they were last year, and it kind of rotates between them. It's just a weird thing about Racine and those schools. This year, Racine Case, the better of the Racine high schools. So Horlick, unfortunately, we expect Franklin to go in there, probably get a running clock on Horlick. They're going to finish it off, and Franklin, really, they're looking at level 3, level 4 of the playoffs. I know they say they want a state title, but I would say, Dennis, it's fair to say level 3, level 4, the expectation, and then from there, anything can happen.
That's correct. Yep, you never know. Remember a couple of years ago, we had a Marquette team that was favored heavily in the snow and rain, and ended up we had a 10-7 game. So
yep,
never know. That's why you got to be able to run the football and play defense in October, November.
Absolutely. Again, recapping our large school media poll, it will be at number 10, Hamilton. Number 9, the Silver Eagles of Monona Grove. Number 8, Lake Geneva Badger. The Neenah Rockets check in at number 7. Number 6, the Highlanders of Homestead. Number 5, the Arrowhead Warhawks. Number 4, getting 1 first-place vote, West De Pere. Number 3, the Waunakee Warriors, getting 2 first-place votes. At number 2, the Muskego Warriors, getting 2 first-place votes. votes, and then number 1, the Franklin Sabres, with 6 of the 11 first-place votes. We will take another short break. When we come back, we will be joined by the head coach of the Sauk Prairie Eagles, Randy Wallace, as he gets set for a game against the undefeated Edgewood Crusaders, a chance to try and get a share of the Badger Small Conference title. Can't wait to talk to Randy, as again he will be joining the Dean, Dennis Semrau, and I here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly on the ESPN Madison and Daily Dodge YouTube channels.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
When it's game day in Madison, you know what that means. Pizza Hut time. Unlimited large one-topping pizzas, just $7.99 each. Or your team at home can load them up with 3 toppings for $9.99. Perfect for kickoffs, watch parties, or that fourth quarter comeback from your living room. Fuel your crew, fill the table, and keep the good times rolling all game long with Pizza Hut. Order now for delivery or carryout at pizzahut.com or on the app. Pizza Hut. Feed good times.
I was really anxious about college and felt overwhelmed at choosing one, but I'm so glad I didn't let that stop me. One tour of Madison College campus was all it took. The campus environment is amazing, so welcoming and friendly, and everyone is really supportive. My advice? See this campus for yourself. There's more to your story at Madison College.
Visit madisoncollege.edu to get started.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement, with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself at 2 convenient Madison service locations on Fish Hatchery Road and Grand Canyon Drive. From simple maintenance to expert repairs, Honda certified technicians handle it all. Need new tires? For a limited time at Zimbrick Honda, you can buy 3 tires and get the 4th for only $1. Part of the Madison community since 1973. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
It's football season in Wisconsin and the energy is electric. Get ready to fuel up the hype with Monster Energy. With bold flavors and that legendary kick, Monster gives you the power to go all 4 quarters. Whether you're tailgating before the big game, watching with friends at home, or catching every play at your favorite spot. Because game day isn't just about football. It's about bringing the energy wherever you are. Stop by your local Piggly Wiggly to pick up a Monster Energy drink today. Monster Energy. Unleash the beast.
Life's better with Drive My Way from American Family Insurance, because we know it's more than just a car. It's your escape pod, your adventure mobile, your memory maker. And we help protect the dreams that drive you. Personalize what you pay for auto insurance and you could save between 5 and 20%. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Unsafe driving behaviors may increase your rate. Visit amfam.com to learn more. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
When the leaves start to fall and your roof starts to call, fix it in the fall, fix it in the fall. If your shingle's looking rough and your gutter's full of stuff, get it fixed before it's froze, man. It's time to call the pro. We patch it, we match it, we stop that drip. Free estimates, quick fix, don't let your roof slip. Your home's your castle, we keep it tight. Call Avondale Roofing, they roof it right. Fall deals dropping it like it's hot. Call Avondale Roofing at 855-819-7663.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on. I'm Hunter Vaughn, with me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. And it is now time for another one of our Midwest Financial Group Coaches Profiles, as we will be joined by the head coach of the Sauk Prairie Eagles, Randy Wallace, here in just a moment. As the lineup at Midwest Financial Group consists of coaches for your financial world, organizing the players on your personal team. Behind every great team is a great coach. Let the Midwest Financial Group be yours for your financial planning needs. Head to mfgteam.com to get started today. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor. Randy, thank you so much for taking the time to join Dennis and I here this evening.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Now, Randy, last year we finished off our season covering this same game between you and the Edgewood Crusaders. Last year it was a game we thought it was going to be a game here for who would get into the playoffs. Both you and Edgewood ended up getting into the playoffs, so shows what I know when it comes to trying to schedule out games. But now this year, a chance for a share of the conference title. So the stakes just go up and up when it comes to you guys playing Edgewood. Is that something you've talked to your guys about at all this week coming into the game?
Yeah, definitely. We talked about last year's game. We talked about how important it was for those guys to come through. We were a very senior-led team last year, so we have a lot of younger guys this year that got to experience some of that, but have stepped up. And we've really talked about just enjoy this week, because we haven't been in a position to go for a conference title or a share of it since 1981, so that's like 40 some years. So there's really, some cool stuff going on. Just really talk to these guys about just enjoy the week, enjoy the prep, and just, it's another game. Just come ready to fight. And it's cool to be in a situation going into week 9 that you're still playing for something.
Now, you look at when you first came in, 0-9, it was back-to-back winless seasons. Every year there's been this steady improvement. But you talk about the seniors. You said you'll be happy when you got 20 or 25 out there. But you want to talk about the group of seniors you have now that started out with you that first year when you ended up with, a 2-7 season, but how they've built and how they've led this team.
Yeah, this senior class, freshman year, I think that was the year that Jake Buckles came in, and he kind of broke the mold of, hey, we're going to start changing this program, and he became a starter as a freshman, which was unheard of in our program prior to that. And through then, his class has just joined him each year. His sophomore year, like Riley Jada came in and Caden Hermsdorf, so we started getting a lot of role players early. So they got a lot of experience early in their playing careers. And I think we went 2-7, and then 4-5, and then last year ended up going 5-4. So they've got a lot of quality minutes over the years and built a lot of trust in each other. And coming into this year, honestly, didn't know what I was going to have because we lost so many seniors, but this class has really stepped up. I think I got 11 seniors out this year. Our numbers are dwindled, but I got 11 guys that are committed, and they're in there fighting every single play they possibly can, and they've really changed the culture of this football program.
One of the things was being able to run the football. You really struggled early, but you found two backs in Wyatt Gibbs, who was going to be a receiver, and Riley Jadek, who was going to be a quarterback, but he's been a stud defensive end for you. Talk about unselfishness. These are guys that maybe aren't playing something they thought they would be playing, but they're major contributors to your program in different positions.
Yeah, absolutely. Wyatt Gibbs was a second team or first team all-conference defensive back last year for us as a junior. And for him just to take that switch over there early in the season, he really took on that running back role. And then, Riley was, tried out for quarterbacks, an open quarterback was that position, and he really worked all offseason. But I think he's taken that and used that to his advantage in the running back position as well. And just they've taken the time, they invested, and they've really bought into the team concept, and they're willing to do whatever it takes and play wherever to help the team be successful. And I've got a lot of that from a couple more seniors this year as well. They've talked about just whatever the team needs me to do, I'm going to do.
We're joined by Randy Wallace, the head coach of Sauk Prairie. Randy, something that I like to do when it's the first time that we've had a coach on maybe in a while, or the first time that has made an appearance here with Dennis and I on this show, is when fans leave Breese Stevens Field on Friday night, other than hopefully saying conference champions or winners, what are 3 words that you want fans to describe the Sauk Prairie team that they watched out on that field?
Ooh, that's a good one. Good. I've got me on the spot here. Definitely, I want them to walk off and just know that we came together as a team. So we're committed to each other. We're fun, and really, a big push is we're a family. So I can tell that we're close knit and we care about each other. So just fun, committed, and a family.
What
a fun, committed family. There we go.
Perfect. Keys to the game against Edgewood. You saw them last year. I mean, they were upset. Some say upset, some say not. Beat Mount Horeb Barneville last week. What's going to take them down?
It's offensively and defensively, our coaches put together a great game plan for this week. As they have all week long to be in the situation. Offensively, Coach Rothman has really talked about we got to play penalty-free football, so we really got to have our head in the game, and we can't allow those little errors that have snuck in here and there to get on us. There's going to be mistakes here and there, but the closer that we are to the not having any penalties, the better we're going to be. Coach Rothman's also very firm on we talked about the run a little bit. He wants to establish that run early and often, and really set the tone of the game from that perspective, and kind of allow us to open our offense up from there. And then one of the big thing is with Caden Hermsdorf and the season he's had this year, one of our goals this week is to get him out of the pocket and let him really use his best tool, which is his legs. And then over on the defense side of the ball, if we're good to jump over there, just we're looking at Coach K and Coach O. We talked about just containing their quarterback. They're really good with their quarterback run, and kind of a little bit like us, right? You really rely on that, and just feel we can contain that because that really sets up everything else for their running in their pass game as well. So we want to look to contain the quarterback, contain their edge runs. And then from there, we just got to stop number 11 from the big pass plays. So it's just going to be on all three levels defensively for us, and doing our jobs and staying where we need to stay, and just follow our game plan.
Well, you mentioned the defense there. After your team gave up 57 points to Mount Horeb Barneveld in that 57-24 loss to them, your team responded, only giving up 14 points in a 31-14 win against Portage, and then you shut out Stoughton this last week, 24-0. What has it been about the players or anything maybe schematically that you guys changed up after a tough defensive outing? I would definitely think you'd agree with saying on that you guys have done to only allow 14 points the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, honestly, I hadn't even looked at that because I know we just looked at wanting to rebound from the second half of the Mount Horeb game. Had a great first half there, and second half they made some adjustments. We didn't make the adjustments, and they came out and played great football and made the big plays. And from there, just kind of went back. Coach K and Coach O just looked at everything and made some changes. We added another wrinkle to our defense that we hadn't had. We took some things out of our defense, so that's essentially we kind of simplified things, yet made ourselves better. And the kids responded really well. They bought into the wrinkle we put in there, and so far it's carried well. It was I think the Portage game the first time we rolled that out, and then we played more of it last week. So a little more flexibility on the defensive side, for a defense that they gave up a ton of points a few weeks ago, but they really responded back, and looking forward to the challenge this week.
That has been one of the keys over the last couple of years. So Coach Krivenek coming in, the scheme, and last year, like you said, it takes a while, but this seems that this team hit the ground running. You had, I think, 5 players that had some kind of all-conference honors back. But you got a lot of young bucks in there, too. You got a freshman that's got three touchdowns, was Devin Bell, two interception returns. So it kind of that nice mix of veterans and the young kids getting some time.
Yeah, no, it's been really neat to see these young guys step up, and really even neater to watch these older guys that have been here, excuse me, to take these guys under the wing. They've really bought into the concept of, it's about the team, and we're willing to do whatever it takes, and willing to play for each other. And if that means a freshman's got to step up and step in there because he's getting the job done, then that's what we're going to roll with.
This again, we're talking to the head coach of Sauk Prairie, Randy Wallace, as they get ready for a potential conference title game against the undefeated Edgewood Crusaders this Friday night. We'll be playing at Breese Stevens Field. Dennis and I will be on the call for that one. Our coverage will start at 6:30, kickoff at 7 o'clock for that game. I know a lot of coaches, you guys like to, it's 1 week at a time, 1-0 every week. But looking ahead, looking like your team, you'll get into the postseason, potentially here have a home game for the playoffs. How important is that idea of getting a home playoff game for your guys? You don't have to go on the bus and, go to the other side of the state or anything like that. Is that something that you guys are like, yeah, if we can stay up on that, 4 or up kind of line to get that home playoff game?
I'd be lying to you if I told you I hadn't talked about it, because that's, obviously being in a position to play for a championship for the first time since 1981. And then the fact that has not been a home playoff game since 2005. So we're looking at 20 years, it means a lot to get that opportunity to have a home football game for us, a playoff game, and, get our community involved. Our community has stepped up, the school district has stepped up. So it's really cool just to see the way everyone's responded. So, I mean, just a reward to everyone else who's been helping our program be successful to be able to be on our home turf and have that game. You know, we're going to spend the last 2 weeks. We started the season with 4 of our first 5 games at home, and we finished on the season with, 3 out of 4 games on the road. So it'll be nice to be home.
Yeah, and it's senior night, I believe, too, for Edgewood. You want to ruin somebody else's senior night, you guys got to win on your last one. But again, just a shout out to the seniors. And you want to mention any in particular we haven't talked about?
You looking for like some seniors or just in general, or what do you want?
Let's see, seniors.
So, I look at our senior class, and for me to point out any one particular one, it's tough because they've all played their role in helping us get here, but at the same time, like I mentioned earlier, Jake Buckle's name, and, he's been there through this whole rebuilding process and this growth process. And he's definitely helped set the vision for what this program is aspiring to be and where we want to be. So, we've talked about what our legacy wants to be, and we leave the field at Sauk Prairie, and, he's definitely got a great resume for what his resume is going to be and what he, is leaving for the guys behind him. And, and I look at all the role players that have jumped in there, and I look at Caden Hermsdorf, who, jumped 2 years at free safety for us, starting, and then jumped over to quarterback this year and took on that role and, and really pursued that. Riley Jadak jumping in at running back this year, and, just willing, the game I walked off from him and he's looked at me, he's like, whatever the team needs, I'll do it. Like, I knew that we're going to have something special this year when he bought in and he was in that, and then Wyatt Gibbs, willing to do whatever we need to do on any side of the ball and return kicks, and then Blaze Caldwell jumping into the slot and then getting kicked out to the wide side. Again, he came up to me this last week. He's like, I don't really care about catches. He's like, I just want the team to win. So whatever I can do to help, so just the unselfishness of a lot of these guys, and then Lane Albers on the line and Curtis Hakins and all these other guys that have just stepped up to senior class and found ways to lead in their own way, just to show our program what we need to do and where we're going.
Well, Coach, thank you so much for taking the time again to join us this evening, and good luck on Friday night against Edgewood.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Again, that was the head coach of Sauk Prairie High School, Randy Wallace, as again, Sauk Prairie gets ready for their conference championship game, essentially here against Edgewood this Friday night. And Dennis, I mean, you can't ask for a better way to have the end of the season. We've talked about it a lot. It's kind of been the theme of our show here, is that Week 9 conference championship type of game. There's so many teams across the state who it's like, oh, either I get an undefeated season and I win my conference title outright, or you end up with a share with 2 or 3 other teams for a conference title because of the way that these conferences shake out. So it's the best way that you could end the regular season.
Well, I say the first thing important is your own local bragging rights. Got to get the conference title. I don't think, with playoffs and stuff, we see it in basketball too. Always worry about getting to the Kohl Center or the Rush Center for the girls, whatever. But it's that first step is winning that one outright. And for Sauk, like you said, 1981, then 2005. The players weren't around. Most of their parents weren't around, probably. So you talk about historic at a historic facility like Breese Stevens Field.
Yes.
And then you got a program like Edgewood that they haven't won a conference title in a while, and they're trying to go unbeaten. So, and again, having these games before you get to state, or the road to state, is so important that you want to be ready. It's like you don't want to have a bye that first week, or if you're off for a couple weeks, you got to kind of gear up. Well, when you got to win out to get there, you're already in that playoff mode, and they know it's one and done, and that's how they have to look at this, one and done. Oh, we got to win this one if we want to win the conference title. But then 1-0 next week, we go at it. But again, I was wondering, I thought it was 2005 since their last home game. Since then, they've got turf field, they moved the stadium. The Sauk Prairie's got just like a lot of other programs around, got just wonderful stadiums. But Breese Stevens right down the road. You and I will be there on Friday night. It should be a good one.
Yeah, at a historic Breese Stevens for Edgewood and Sauk Prairie. Again, the winner of that game wins the conference for the Badger Small Conference. If Sauk Prairie wins, it will be a share of the conference title between Mount Horeb-Barneveld, Edgewood, and Sauk Prairie, as they all would have one loss all against each other. If Edgewood wins, they win that conference title outright. This is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. After the break, we're going to be looking at some bubble teams. We did this last week. We're going to do it again as we have some teams in the new playoff matrix who are either just barely in or they're on the outside looking in. So we're going to take a look at that. And again, just another reminder to hit that subscribe button on the ESPN Madison or the Daily Dodge YouTube channels. That way then you get notifications anytime we go live, whether it's our local regular shows or the live games that both Daily Dodge and here at ESPN Madison we do. And hit that like button too. That tells us that you like the content we're doing. That tells us that you like what it is we do, and that really helps us out a lot if you hit that like button as well. When we come back, we'll look at some teams that are on the bubble as the playoffs will start next week here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
More of Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly coming up next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Zimbrick Honda has been a proud part of the Madison community since 1973, and they're your one-stop shop for over 250 new Hondas to choose from. Whether it's the sedan, SUV, or truck, their selection of new vehicles is second to none and has exactly what you're looking for. Stop in today at their location on Fish Hatchery Road and check out the all-new 2024 Honda Prologue, Honda's first all-electric SUV, or browse their selection online at ZimbrickHonda.com. That's ZimbrickHonda.com. Shop local. Shop Zimbrick Honda.
Hi, this is Lee, inviting you to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse in Middleton. We got a great happy hour every day of the week from 4 o'clock to 7, and our patio during the summer is open too. If you're getting married, a special occasion, a birthday, anniversary, or even a business meeting, we've got all the accommodations right here at Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You work hard and sometimes you're not sure what you want to do, where you want to spend your money. I want to encourage you to come into Ruth's Chris Steakhouse and say hello. It'd be a pleasure to meet you.
What's poppin', Badger fans? Pablo Iglesias here for the ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show, brewed by Coors Light. Riley Auk and I will be at Village Green in Middleton to break down everything from Wisconsin, Ohio State, as the Badgers aim to salvage something positive against the number 1 ranked Buckeyes. Or maybe we'll just talk Brewers. Who knows? But good vibes, good times regardless. So join us this Saturday at Village Green for ESPN Wisconsin College Game Day postgame show, brewed by Coors Light. We'll see you there.
Listen to Madison Money Guy every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. on 100.5 ESPN and ESPNWisconsin.com.
I like to refer to inflation as the silent killer. It's an invisible risk. It's just the idea that things get more expensive over time. You're going to need milk and eggs when you're in your early 60s and when you're in your early 80s. You're going to get a loaf of bread, and it's going to be more expensive 20 years from now.
Christian Finfrock is the Madison Money Guy. Call him today at 208-1800.
At Siding Unlimited, we're really excited for the fall season. Not only are we proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, we are also fired up for an exciting fall season cheering on football and volleyball. If that's not enough, we're really excited to share with you that Siding Unlimited is Wisconsin's best window and door installation team. Siding Unlimited is a Pella Platinum Premier National Contractor of the Year award winner 5 times. Looking for new windows and doors? Visit us at sidingunlimited.com or stop by our beautiful showroom in Madison.
Madison's financial challenges need a Dane County-based bank. Starion Bank is a full-service community bank that delivers quality big bank services with a local approach. We are proud to be there for any budding entrepreneur or small businesses, helping them exceed their financial goals from banking to lending to cash management. Visit a banker at one of our convenient branches in Middleton, Monona, or Sun Prairie. Starion Bank, taking you farther.
In the next 30 seconds, I'm going to tell you how to save money and save the planet. It's simple. Ditch your energy bill and make the switch over to Everlight Solar. While electricity prices keep rising, Everlight Solar will give you the chance to take ownership of your power while also reducing your carbon footprint. As a local company based out of Madison, they'll be there with you every step of the way as you make the switch to solar. To learn more about how you can save money and save the planet, go to everlightsolar.com.
Looking to join an international quality golf club right here in Madison? For a limited time at TPC Wisconsin, enjoy full golf privileges and all club amenities without full dues. Pay just $150 per month through March to maintain your full golf membership with no golf dues until April 1st. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Schedule a tour or submit a membership inquiry at tpcwisconsin.com and start enjoying the private golf club experience you deserve. That's tpcwisconsin.com.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly continues on. I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. Mentioned it before the break, but we'll be going through our bubble watch, as well as I want to say thank you to Randy Wallace, the head coach of Sauk Prairie, for joining us as he gets ready to take on the Edgewood Crusaders for a conference title game in the Badger Small Conference. Again, if you missed any of that interview, you can watch it back on the ESPN Madison or Daily Dodge YouTube channels, as well as you can hear the podcast version of it on the ESPN Wisconsin app or wherever you get your podcasts. Just search PrepMania and you'll be able to find it there, as well as past games that we did and past shows of PrepMania Weekly. But it's now time for us to look at the bubble watch, as the playoff seeds and the brackets will be unveiled next Saturday morning. And we've got some teams from the area that are on the bubble. We start off with at number 28 in Division 1. They were 26 last week, but they fell to Milton. The Sun Prairie East Cardinals, now down to 28, Dennis. Sun Prairie East finishes off against DeForest. It's a 2-win DeForest squad, though, so you're not going to get many points for a win. Do you think Sun Prairie East gets in sitting at 26 right now?
Now, we'll take a look at what's behind there. I think they got a good shot. If they get a win, the problem is when you look at the points, they've gotten less than a point for Tier 2 wins because of the teams that they have beaten this year. I mean, they lost to Monona Grove, they lost to Milton, they lost to Wanakee, all the big dogs. So that's the same thing. When we get to Madison Memorial...
That is our next one, Madison Memorial. They're sitting at number 36. And again, the top 32 teams in each division get into the playoffs. It's different than what it had been in the past with this new playoff matrix. It used to be you get above 500 in your conference, then that qualifies you. They then go down based off of the enrollment of all the teams that qualify, and they assign you to different than divisions. Now we know who's Division 1. We know who's in Division 2. Division 1, sitting at number 36 in this new playoff matrix, is Vel Phillips Memorial. They've won 3 in a row, but they lost 5 games to start, and they've got, again, a 2-win team in Madison La Follette here at the end. So
yeah, their wins are against Janesville, Craig, and Parker, and against Madison East, who's 0-8. Craig's 4-4, and Parker's 2-6. So, and that would be a 2-6 La Follette team if they beat that. So yeah, it's going to come down to the last what everybody else does. But they're holding on. You got to win. Just win out and let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah, and that's Vel Phillips Memorial. Had some injuries that kind of hampered them at the beginning of the season. They got healthy here late, won some games here at the end of the season, but they're going to need some help from the teams above them, losing games for them to be able to get in. And then a team that we had someone in the YouTube chat, Dennis, ask about, so I thought this was a good spot for us to talk some more about them, and that is Madison West. They're currently 5-3 on the year. Madison West is sitting at number 27 in the Division 1 playoff matrix, and they've got this huge game against Middleton to finish off their season. So, Dennis, I want to ask you, when it comes to Madison West, let's hypothetically go through both scenarios, because I think if they beat Middleton, they're in, right?
Right.
So if they lose to Middleton, for whatever reason, do you think that Madison West will still get into the playoffs if they finish 5-4 on the season?
Well, their wins are against Racine Park, who's 0-8, East, who's 0-8, Memorial 3-5, who could be 3-6 or 4-5, La Follette, the same thing, and then Craig, who's 4-4. Again, they got a better shot than Memorial does. I think if they do, they might get in as an 8 seed.
Well, and then, too, you look at the teams that are below West with Sun Prairie East, Wausau West, Oak Creek, Milwaukee Riverside, and then Stevens Point being number 32. It feels like those are all teams that could be in a spot where maybe even if they win, you're not looking at them gaining a lot of points. I mean, I'm just looking through Wausau West. They play River Falls. River Falls is 7-1. They're looking for a share of a conference title. So I don't know if Wausau West gets a win. So these teams that are below Madison West, not all of them are going to win these games this last week of the season. So it feels like Madison West is in a good spot. I think people on the west side, though, they're just kind of on edge. There's a nervous energy around it.
After last year, you would be.
Exactly.
Totally.
Exactly. It's the same way I was going to say. It's the same way that Brewers fans were feeling throughout that NLDS series, where it's just like there's nervous energy. And there's still kind of some nervous energy because they can't figure out their offense against the LA Dodgers. But I could do an entire show about my frustration with that.
At some point. It only took us an hour and 44 minutes to get there.
I was holding my tongue. I was doing a really great job. Owen, our producer, give me a thumbs up. I was doing a good job of saying, yeah, he's giving me the thumbs up. I held my tongue. I just couldn't anymore about the Brewers. One last team, though, Dennis, again, on the fringe, but this time in Division 2. For our bubble watch here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, Beaver Dam. Now, Beaver Dam last week, they were 32. They moved up a spot even though they lost 21-7 to Port Washington. And they have one of the most difficult matchups to finish off their season.
Plymouth.
Yep, an undefeated number 10 in our media poll, Plymouth Panthers. And this is a Plymouth squad that's averaging 8.5 yards per carry on the ground that Beaver Dam's got to deal with. You felt confident that they were going to get in. Now with that loss against Port Washington, do you still think Beaver Dam gets in?
I think they're out because of that the loss. Then you got to take a look at who's behind them. Hartford, Waukesha, South, Green Bay East, Kettle Moraine. One of those teams could jump them. They might be number 33. That's my fear.
Yeah, and that's the tough spot that Beaver Dam's put themselves in, with just some early season losses that just really haven't helped them as they're trying to get into the postseason in that Division 2 spot. We're all rooting for Beaver Dam here. I don't want it to seem like this is a spot where I'm saying they're just not going to get in. It's just the math with this playoff matrix makes it really difficult because they dropped some of those games. They had that loss to Menominee Falls earlier in the year. They win that game, I think they're a shoe-in. They're up into the 20s in the matrix, and they're fine. Those early season losses really hurt them.
Yeah, their wins were Fort Atkinson 0-8, and Kewaskum 0-8, and Watertown 1-7. So they're just not getting a lot of bang for their buck on their wins. And again, it could go back to that Menominee Falls loss, 22-20. And the loss to Sauk Prairie. I mean, they were just blown out of that one. No. And then the Mount Hort-Barneveld, that gave them a tough run for the second year in a row. That could have been a flip game too. That one, that against the Mount Hort team that's got 6 wins, would have had 5 if they would have lost to Beaver Dam. Yeah, I think that we wouldn't be talking about that. They'd be in it.
Now, on the other side, Dennis, as I look at the other teams that are behind them, 32 is Kettle Moraine, 33 Green Bay East, 34 Waukesha South. Looking at their schedules, Waukesha South plays 7-1 Catholic Memorial. 3-5 Waukesha South, they're not winning that game. So that helps Beaver Dam out.
Yes.
Green Bay East, they play 1-7 Green Bay West. Crosstown rivalry game, they're sitting at number 33. That's kind of a coin toss when you're 2-6, you're playing a 1-7 team. They could easily lose that game as well. Then Kettle Moraine, also a 2-6 team. Do you know who they play, Dennis? It's not good if you're Kettle Moraine. They play Arrowhead to finish off their season. So Beaver Dam,
there you go.
They're right on that fringe. They win, they're getting in.
Yes.
Win and you're in. If they lose, there's a couple of teams here who have some tough games too that may not get themselves in as well. So I'm going to be glued to Daily Dodge on Friday while we're calling a game between Sauk and Edgewood to see what happens with Plymouth.
It's cool if they lose 3-4 in the conference, which wouldn't have got you in. You would have been borderline before. 4-3 would have got you in. So a win, you're in, right? Just like it was before.
Yep.
Just win your games.
Yep, exactly. And that was when we talked to head coach Jesse Norris, whose assistant coach Andy Lavoie was the one that helped put together this playoff matrix. That was the big message on this is win your games, you're going to get in. You don't win your games, that's where you're going to have problems. Beaver Dam, they win, they get in, they take down an undefeated Plymouth squad that they're going to be feeling great going into the postseason. They'll get themselves in. They lose, then they got to start doing some scoreboard watching, scrolling through Twitter to find scores, and they have to wait until Saturday morning to see and hope and pray that they can get in.
Hope our boys at Daily Dodge have a good one.
Yes, and I think they will have a good one. I think that's going to be a great battle between an undefeated Plymouth squad and the Beaver Dam Golden Beavers. Again, you can watch that game on Daily Dodge as they'll have that game, and we'll be keeping an eye on that score as you and I will be on the call Friday night for Sauk Prairie Edgewood.
And the other thing is Edgewood wins. They're right now a number 1 seed.
Yes.
They solidify a number 1 seed with a win.
Yep, and that'll be something else we'll be talking a ton about over these last few days of the regular season. We have one more segment to go, and that'll be our PrepMania on deck. Again, text in 844-770-3776. Let us know if there's a team or a game or even a volleyball or cross-country event that you think Dennis and I should talk about in this last segment, and we'll talk about it. Or if there's just a football game that you think we haven't touched on that you want to know more about. Dennis and I will talk about that next here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly.
You're listening to Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, breaking down more from this week in area high school sports next on 100.5 ESPN, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and the ESPN Madison YouTube channel.
Is your home ready for a makeover? At Wanakee Remodeling, we specialize in exterior transformations that turn heads. New siding, flawless decks, and windows that shine. Our team delivers top-quality craftsmanship with unbeatable warranties, ensuring your home stands strong and stunning for years to come. Call Wanakee Remodeling today at 608-442-0034 or visit WanakeeRemodeling.com. Schedule your free estimate and let us bring your vision to life. Wanakee Remodeling, building beauty that lasts.
Looking to take your baseball game to the next level? GRB Academy provides year-round training programs designed around your schedule and your goals. For over 15 years, GRB has been Wisconsin's leader in player development and advancement with a state-of-the-art 52,000 square foot facility of elite baseball training space and coaches who know how to get results. From youth to high school, baseball players trust GRB to help them reach their next level. Training program spots are filling quickly, so don't wait. Register now at grbacademy.com.
The team at Midwest Financial Group are values-based financial specialists that offer full-service financial solutions. This local independent firm has been dedicated to helping people achieve their financial, tax, and insurance goals for over 30 years. Visit mfgteam.com to learn more about how they can help set up your future for financial success. Advisory services offered through Commonwealth Financial Network, a registered investment advisor.
Every team needs captains and playmakers, and Madison and Dane County Pizza Hut locations are looking for both. They're hiring managers to lead the crew and drivers to deliver big wins and pizzas. Find part-time or full-time roles with flexible hours, plus full benefits for those who work 30 or more hours per week. Whether it's running the huddle or making plays on the road, there's a spot at Pizza Hut for you. Apply today at jobs.pizzahut.com. That's jobs.pizzahut.com. Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hey, it's Isaac Miller, junior defensive end in high school. 14 Division I offers. Yep, 1-4. Wisconsin, Michigan, Florida, Miami, you name it. Everyone's asking, where's Isaac going? Well, I'll tell you this. It's going to be big, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be legendary. But first, I'm hitting the weight room in my Iron Jock gear. Because no matter what logo I wear next, Iron Jock is how I get there. Stay tuned and go to ironjock.com. That's ironjoc.com.
Don't be haunted by high prices this Halloween. Metro Ford of Madison has frightfully good deals waiting just for you. Right now, drive home the all-new 2025 Ford F-150 or F-150 STX, or escape the ordinary in a 2025 Ford Escape, both with just 2.9% APR for up to 66 months, only $16.41 per month for $1,000 finance. But hurry, these scary good offers vanish November 3rd. Visit MetroFordOfMadison.com today, where the deals are a treat, never a trick.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer, providing equal employment, development, and advancement opportunities to all teammates and applicants. To learn more about careers with us, please send an email to talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com. That's talentacquisition@goodkarmabrands.com.
You hear that? That's the sound of Pepsi Zero Sugar, the better tasting, more refreshing Zero Sugar Cola. Listen to that endless pour. Pure refreshment. If it sounds this good, just imagine how it tastes. Oh yeah, so good. Pepsi Zero Sugar. Let your taste decide.
This is ESPN Wisconsin and ESPNWisconsin.com.
He's coming out, 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 he's coming out. It's there.
Wrapping up Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, I'm Hunter Vaughn. With me, the Dean of Area High School Sports, Dennis Semrau. If you're interested in getting individual or group lessons from some of the highest level of coaching for the baseball player in your life, GRB Academy offers individual and group lessons for players of all ages and skill levels. Visit grbacademy.com for more information. GRB Academy, baseball for the serious player. Dennis, it is now time, as we have about 2 minutes left here on Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly, for our PrepMania on Deck, where we talk about some games or events that are coming up. I've got a football game in mind. We already talked about it. Of course, it is Plymouth against Beaver Dam, that massive game up in Beaver Dam. One of our commenters in the Daily Dodge YouTube chat from Watertown cheering against the Golden Beavers. That's a big rivalry over there.
Of course.
So,
yes.
Of course, yes. That's exactly what I would expect for a rivalry. You don't want your rival to get into the postseason, so they want their season spoiled. What do you have coming up for an event that you want to talk about?
State individual tennis is this week, and next week's the team tennis.
Already championships.
Right, over
wow.
at Nielsen Stadium. And we just finished 2 days of state golf. And by the way, DeForest finished number 3, and Middleton was number 4 in Division 1.
Awesome.
And Edgerton was runner-up in Division 2. So great local teams. Being a state qualifier has become the norm for McKenna Thorson of Verona. She's making her 3rd straight state tournament appearance. She's 30-1 this year. And number 2 seed in Division 1 singles. She was 4th last year and was in the state quarterfinals as a freshman. Got a first-round bye, and she begins her tournament cheering on her teammates that are there. They have a doubles team. So a shout-out to McKenna Thorson, going for the gold.
That is awesome. Again, this is Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. I'm Hunter Vaughn for the Dean, Dennis Semrau. Also, a big thank you to our producer, Owen Dimfo. And as well, thank you to our guest, Randy Wallace, as well as Mike Wolfgram for joining the show. We've got still a full slate of content coming up here, so you don't want to go anywhere if you're tuning in on 100.5 ESPN Madison, as we have the Barry Alvarez show that was pre-recorded from Monday, but reacting to the Badgers' loss to Iowa 37-0. So you're going to want to hear what the coach had to say about that. Speaking of coaches, we've got the Kelly Sheffield show then right after that. So then you can hear from the head coach of the volleyball team as they got a bounce-back win over the weekend. Volleyball is on top of their game. They're number 9 in the country right now. They're playing some great volleyball, so you'll want to hear that. Then after both of those, we go to Game 3 of the ALCS between Seattle and Toronto. So it's a bunch of stuff still going on. You don't want to turn that dial from 100.5, or you can stream on the ESPN Wisconsin app to hear the Kelly Sheffield show as well as the Barry Alvarez show. Again, this has been Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly. For the Dean, Dennis Semrau, I'm Hunter Vaughn, and this has been Zimbrick Honda's PrepMania Weekly on ESPN Wisconsin.
Your Honda gets you everywhere. When it needs service, you need Zimbrick Honda service. Their customer service is second to none, and you can experience it for yourself.